Yeah. All right, Jeff. You're live.
All right. We're here live at Boyertown Brickworks. We're going to learn about all the Legos that are surrounding us right now. And you're watching the cast at Glocker. This is Matt Green. Jeff Frederick is your host. We're going to be talking with Joe Nicely and his father, Carl. All right. We'll be right back after this intro.
This is the cast. All right.
All right.
We are live.
We are live here at Boyertown Brickworks, and we are going to learn about this new Lego store that's here in Boyertown. I know my children are excited about it. I know there's a lot of excitement in town. So here's your first look at it. If you didn't come in last weekend when they had a soft opening. Yeah. So let's learn about our owner Joe and his father Carl. And Joe, I think the first question I have for you is how did this get started? I think that's the most important question.
Oh, so this got started a couple of years ago, where I had my personal collection, and it started to grow.
How long ago did that personal collection start? Like when you were just a young lad? Or?
Yeah. So I got my first Lego set in 1984. It was the police station. It has since then devolved into little bricks, but I have been consistently collecting since really 1998 early. So I had I joined the Marine Corps, gone overseas, had a little bit of money to my name, and decided that all of those sets that were way too expensive that my parents would never buy me, I would just buy myself. And then I found myself buying 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 of them, and realized that I had so much Lego I had no place to sleep, so I needed to do something with them. And if I was buying them, then maybe somebody else would want to buy them too. And
okay.
So, over the years, I had primarily online or in person been selling Lego in the community, and about
like in the Boyertown community?
No.
Okay.
So
in the
Lego community,
okay.
Right? I was still in the military for quite a long period of time after that, and bounced around a bit. I've been here in Boyertown for about 8 years now, and since moving here and kind of putting down some roots, I was watching my collection grow and continuing to do some more buying and selling community. Actually met some pretty good friends that formed a little Lego group here in Eastern Pennsylvania that the encouragement came, hey, why don't you think about starting a store? And at first
they knew how many Legos you were collecting, I guess.
It was. So at first it was, no, I had too many for my house, so I moved them out to a storage unit. And then came the second storage unit because the first one got too full. And by the time that I had started having to think about getting a third one, then it was, hey, maybe this idea should come to fruition and we should start looking at it. So that was the early part of this year. And I didn't make the leap immediately to a store because we didn't find a place that was suitable at the time. But we...
so you were kind of looking for a store.
We were kind of looking for a store open to the idea. Found a better place to store all the Legos, as you guys know. We moved into the basement at Glocker, and then I had actually put the idea out of my head for a little bit, thinking that let's give it a year.
So in the basement of Glocker, that was basically your storage,
right,
and where you could build,
right,
and where you could sell out of, meaning
Right.
like on the internet.
right. So that's affectionately become known as our workshop, and that
Okay.
really is the engine behind the store here, right? There's, if you look around, there's not a lot of place here in the store to do things like rebuilding or organizing. We have a lot of loose brick, right? But it takes more than this to be able to, on a large scale, put all these sets back together and rebuild them into, something that is complete enough that somebody wants to take it home and make it part of their collection.
Right.
So about 6 to 8 weeks ago, I was told about this location, and we came by here, and the idea was like, could we do this? Can we pull it off? And as the last few weeks have shown, with some really great help, we have managed to turn the idea into something real.
You definitely did. I mean, look around you, Matt. There's a lot of Legos here, huh?
There's about a
bajillion?
million. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bajillion's
A bajillion.
Probably a better guess.
Probably.
Yeah.
1 million.
1 million pieces.
So where do you originally live?
Oh goodness. My dad was Navy before me, so
Okay.
I was actually born in North Texas, up in Amarillo, and grew up between Tennessee and Virginia.
So you traveled a lot.
all over
Yeah,
the place.
yeah.
And I joined the Marine Corps, and so
Kept traveling.
so this is actually, I think, vying for one of the longest places that I've lived. I think maybe Virginia might be the other one that we're kind of neck and neck at the moment. So
Okay. So Dad,
Boyertown's in the
where do you
running to
live?
come home.
We actually live down in North Carolina.
Okay.
When I retired out of the military, I went down to North Carolina.
Okay.
It was
So you're up here just helping everything
we're
get
up here
started.
helping get started, get everything put together. Yeah.
Okay. Very
And
good.
Dad's name is Carl, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Carl Nicely, right?
Yes.
All right. I want to make sure I get his caption right. I got a caption for him. So if you
It's official
let's
now.
put it up,
That's
man.
official.
Carl Nicely, Dad, Boyertown Brickworks.
Okay. So what brought you to Boyertown in the first place? 8 years ago.
Well, so my children are here in Boyertown, and so I came here to be with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the greatest answer you come
Yeah.
up with. Yeah.
And they are, we'll probably hear from them later on, but my son is actually very closely involved with the store. And so if folks are coming in during the week, they will see him standing behind the desk. It's really hard to miss him. He's 6'5". So he's the skyscraper boy.
Does he also have the love for Legos that you do?
He does. So his interest runs a little bit different than mine, though. I have, I think, a better background in some of the sets. He has a much better knowledge of the minifigures.
Okay.
And so I have leaned on him very heavily in kind of making sense of all of the little people and pieces that we have to try to make them back into something like what they came from in their themes. And of course, if you know, there are hundreds of thousands of little minifigure types from all the different years. So that's no small task.
We'll have to get him to make a Matt and Jeff minifigures, right? Would that not be awesome?
My
task him with
minifigure
that.
needs some headphones.
Mine's easy, no hair.
It's bald,
Yeah.
right? Mine's partially balding, but definitely headphones
yeah.
and a computer.
Yeah,
Right?
mine needs a clipboard.
That's my
I think
only.
that's it.
All right.
Yeah, we do actually have minifigures that have headphones, and either with a ball cap or without a ball cap.
We'll go with the ball cap.
So, now it might be a red ball cap or a blue one.
I don't care about the color.
So
I
what
just
is
don't
this?
want my Lego man to get a bald head burn.
Mine should have a ball
Hey,
head
listen,
burn, 'cause-
while we're shooting the GIF here,
Mhm.
let's talk to Jennifer Ann is saying hello. Gypsy Chris is saying hello. Anita Schlichter Church says, hey, Joe. Terry Drobbins says hello. Tracy Lee says, how fun and welcome to the show. This is the cast at Glocker. We're at Boyertown Brickworks, which is located at 10 South Reading Avenue in the lovely borough of Boyertown, 19512. Doreen Pennypacker says hello. Hey, everybody for tuning in. Thanks for giving us the likes. Thanks for giving us the comments and the questions. Also, hit that share button. If you can share a cat video to Facebook, you can share this show. Help us get the word out about Boyertown Brickworks.
Help Joe get the word out.
Help Joe get the word out. Hey, Joe, help him get the word out. And help us share all this great stuff that's going down in Boyertown. Tanya Williams, thanks for tuning in. Tim Clackett, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, and any questions out there, send them over. We'll try to get to them for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm monitoring the chat. We're also live on Facebook, and we're live on YouTube at Glocker Realty and Insurance.
And if we ever miss a question, it's not because we don't care. It's because we just somehow missed it.
Yes.
Or time ran out.
out.
We absolutely always care about people watching.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yep, absolutely. So now that you got this together, what's the big plans?
Oh, so there has been a huge outswell of support. And with that comes a lot of different suggestions and ideas and requests. So we've been asked about, will we be doing birthday parties and build nights and
I feel like build nights
is
like a must of build nights. I would think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So all of them are great ideas. What we are planning to do. So grand opening is this coming Saturday, the 1st of October, and then
ribbon cutting at 9:45
a.m. Right. So come on out and see us and support us, and feel free to come into the store afterwards.
Be the first ones in here.
Absolutely. Well, there might be a bunch of people trying to get in the door all at the same time, so form an orderly line. But next week we'll start our regular store hours.
Okay.
And so we are planning to be open 1 to 7, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Saturdays. Outside of those, whether it's either before or after, is when we'll start to plan some of these additional events. So, say for a Thursday night, we might do like a theme building night. Bring some folks in, let them maybe do a Star Wars build. Right, I'd like to give them a goal, at least that they can start with.
Right,
and then we'll probably do another type of night that will be something a bit more instructional around if you'd like to learn maybe some more advanced building techniques. And there are certainly a lot of different ways to build. And so a lot of times we don't get those opportunities if you're just kind of sitting at home and you're putting brick upon brick.
Right.
So having like some guided, like here's how, different type of, you want to build a starfighter or you want to build a building, right? Those two very, very different kinds of builds. And we can, do some of that through some of the specific build nights.
And I think that's a great idea because, people might be at home saying, it's Legos. You put the blocks together and you make something. And then you come and see something like what's behind us here. And you're like, okay, that's not so easy, right?
That's a different level of building, right?
So, you're not going to be able to build that right away, maybe, unless you have instructions. But
and for those of us who, maybe have grown up with Lego, right? And what we remember from, the 80s and 90s and the type of building that you would get from sets then, if you've put a Lego set together in the last 5 years, let's just take Star Wars, for example, right? If you put a space set together from 88 or 89, and then you take a Star Wars set now, it's a very, very different building experience. And primarily that's because the Lego designers and how they actually go about creating the set has matured.
Yeah.
And so that I think is a very kind of interesting way to re-engage with, Lego as a building experience, passing it on to the new generation. But if you'd like to create something that's new and kind of unusual, then making sure it can have the structural integrity to hold up. You don't pick it up and it falls into 100 pieces. We've all had that experience. Then there are some ways that we can help pass those lessons on and teach them how to build better. Probably on Saturday mornings, probably toward the end of October, we'll be looking to do like some birthday parties and things like that.
Okay.
I
need
want to
find
interrupt you real
Sure.
quick. What is the date again for the grand opening?
The grand opening will be Saturday, October 1st.
This Saturday.
Yes. And the ribbon cutting ceremony will be at 9:45 in the morning. The opening will be at 10 a.m. So there'll be a little bit of overlap. Obviously, the doors will be open, so we'll have some coffee and donuts for all the early arrivers.
I think there'll be a lot of excited kids of all ages here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're looking forward to see you all.
So you got birthday parties, classes. I see there was a suggestion about like STEM education classes.
There was some interest around doing some educational classes, and I actually wanted to reach out to some of our homeschooling groups in the area, some of our educators, and get some feedback on that. I think that would be a great opportunity. There's a lot of applicability of using Lego and tangible, objects in learning, especially early education, but also in later things like programming and engineering, right?
Yeah.
All of those advanced concepts find their way into the builds.
So let's explain to people what STEM is, because I could see that Jeff's sitting there. He has no idea.
No.
So
It's
science, it's science,
it's-
technology,
It's the bottom of a
engineering,
flower.
and math. Science, technology, engineering, and math. Then they also added the arts to it. So it's also STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Just now you know.
I knew the STEM part. I had not heard the STEAM, but that is awesome.
You're educating us all here, Matt.
No problem.
Yeah.
We've got some new people tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Anthony Ivan Linovich, maybe. Enchanted Bricks is saying hello. Judy Green is asking where the store is. The store is located at 10 South Reading Avenue in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We're right at the intersection of 73 and 562.
The main intersection. Yep.
Can't miss the yellow signs.
That's right. Yep. And there's plenty of parking out back, and the signs will bring you right in.
Right.
Here. Yeah. So you did good with that. I mean, you did good with everything. Everything looks great here. Hopefully it's coming across on the camera well. Hopefully everybody can see all these different bricks of all shapes here. So
Oh yeah, we love the brick table. Everybody loves loose brick.
you can do anything.
Yes.
If your imagination can come up with it, you can do it. Right?
Absolutely. It was actually the over the weekend when we were open for Oktoberfest, and folks would come in and they would immediately gravitate to the bulk table, and we had 15 to 20 people almost consistently gathered around, adults and children side by side, just playing in the pieces, pulling out, oh, this is cool, and throwing bags to take them home. It was really awesome to see.
So that's how you can purchase all these.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Almost everything that you see in the store is purchasable. Obviously, some things in our display window are there simply for display. But if you're really interested in, we can find one for you to take home.
All right.
We're
Perfect.
getting a question about handicap accessibility, and I noticed that there was a couple of steps up in here to the store, but I would imagine if somebody contacts you ahead of time, you can make some arrangements for a handicapped person to get into the store.
Sure, as much as we can.
Yeah.
Depending on the type of equipment that would be required, there probably is going to be some limits to what we can do. But certainly, if somebody has a handicap situation, connect with us through Facebook, and we'll try to work out the arrangements as much as we can.
Yeah, and
There's minimal steps. But
it's just
there
are
steps.
steps.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut and paste a copy of the link to the Facebook page in the chat comments. And I'm also going to respond to the person that was asking that. So after the show, they'll be able to click right on the link that I'm going to share with you. And you'll be able to hook up with the folks here at Boyertown Brickworks to discuss getting some help with a handicapped person.
If the Facebook link, for whatever reason, you can't remember it, you can always go to boyertownbrickworks.com, and it bounces directly to the Facebook page.
Okay.
And I
So
found
there's
that
no
out
website.
earlier.
There's no website yet,
but it will take you
right. But
to
it will take you
Facebook.
directly to the Facebook
Okay.
page.
Can confirm.
Yes.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yes.
All right.
Excellent.
Lisa Marie is saying hello. Duck Cuts says he loves the colors.
Awesome. We do too.
Listen, thanks for keeping those comments coming.
Yeah.
It does help us spread the
Love
word.
it.
The Facebook and YouTube analytics want to see that people are engaging with the show. And the best way for you to do that is to put a question or comment up into the chat box. I've got another question coming in from Gypsy Chris. She wants to know, everyone loves loose bricks except when it's on the floor and you have bare feet.
Which we were talking about earlier.
So this leads me to my question. This is what I want to know, because I have 3 sons who, although they are all, well, 2 of them are adults. One is soon to be an adult, still love to build. But I'm asking you, with all of your Lego knowledge and wisdom, what's the best way for us parents to avoid the pain of stepping on a brick in the middle of the night? Is there a trick? Is there a Lego recommended strategy for reducing the pain? That's what I'm asking you.
So
I don't like his answer. I don't like his answer already.
When you start with so, it can't be good, right?
if you have a vacuum cleaner and you have a little bit of pantyhose, then some of the if you stretch the pantyhose across like the vacuuming end and it has the kind of the long the floor beater brush is not a good one. Obviously it will pick up everything, but if you've got
just the nozzle,
just the nozzle or an attachment onto the nozzle, put the pantyhose actually around the end of the hose and then stick the attachment on it.
Okay.
And it will pull up the smaller pieces.
Right.
The bigger ones, obviously, you hopefully would be able to see.
Right.
But it will pick up the smaller pieces, but keep it from going into the back.
Yeah. And then you can just dump out.
Yeah, you could put it in loosely.
That's great. That's a great idea. I'm glad we're talking to the Lego guys.
Some pantyhose this evening, I think.
Problem solved.
All right.
You know what? You're gonna find like a whole set of Legos. You'll be like, what the heck are you kids doing?
Just don't use the really thick leotards that
Right.
won't allow
Yeah.
airflow.
You need like a pair of like
Full
pantyhose
airflow,
from the dollar store, whatever you can get your hands on.
Get through them.
Yeah. I mean, if you use fishnets and you get a Technic piece, all the way in your vacuuming bag, please tell me. I enjoy.
Now we
enjoy
know
a
what's
laugh.
going on over
You're
the
right.
Frederick
I know.
household. Oh, brother. We've got a lot of people tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Amy, Diane, Bab, thanks for tuning in. Devolution Hall. Dump the bricks on a sheet when done playing. Pick up the sheet and dump back in the container.
That there guy, you go. Put the sheet down on the floor.
That person is clearly more organized than I have ever been in my household. Dad says put shoes on, or you could just walk around with shoes on all the time.
Tell me that dad has not stepped on one, because every dad has.
Though, you might break the Lego.
I don't. No, you don't want to break the Legos because that. Well, maybe you do because that keeps you in business, though, right? You've got to have a certain amount of job security.
By all means, wear cleats.
Yes, break the Lego, and then come down to 10 South Reading Avenue and
I'll buy you another one, son.
You know what? We have 100 more just like it. Come on down. I'll hook you up.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
I do want to say we have a live audience here today.
Yeah,
this audience was behind us.
Right.
They were playing with these blocks. I couldn't get away from them.
I know.
As soon as we said we're action, they bolted.
There was a lot of tough talk. There was a lot of tough talk. Yeah.
So, live audience, feel free to play if you want to back there. And silence, you hear complete silence.
And Joe, just so I want to be clear on this too, people don't necessarily have to make a purchase in order to come in here to do these build nights or just to come in and put a couple of pieces together or whatever. Your idea is to get people through the door, right?
Absolutely. So Lego is a very kind of socially interactive activity, right? So if you want to come in and just run your fingers through the brick or build something, by all means, we're happy to have you. If you want to nerd out over some minifigures, we're happy to spend the time and talk about all the things. We enjoy the brick. We have been fans of it for decades now, So absolutely, just come on by, share your love. We're here for that.
That's a good point, Matt. Absolutely.
You got to get them through the door.
So, Carl, Joe's dad, you're here on mic. Tell us how you got involved in this purchase and endeavor, or whatever you want to call it. The Lego world. Were you
Moral
shoved
support,
into it?
Moral support. I am not a Lego person. I can manage to build probably for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that's my limit. I just don't stay with it. I have my particular favorites that I've been hunting for. He brought me one today.
Sopwith Camel.
Yes. And I'm looking for the
Right
bear.
there.
Yeah, the tried.
I feel like everybody has that, like that one that they start building and they're like, there's something about this that I really love.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I followed him along and contributed here and there. And
Obviously, you enjoy what he does, though.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's enjoyable. I enjoy watching him work.
Uh-huh.
You know? and
Because in your eyes, he's probably still 10 playing with his Legos, right?
Fair.
Sometimes.
Yeah. He probably wanted the Legos out of his house so he was done stepping on them.
He's like, I'll do anything
Yeah.
you want me to do.
Would you go start a store?
That happened years ago. You're like, you're coming back from Japan, so all the stuff that you left at our house, you can take with you. This was from the very beginning when the idea presented itself. I wanted the opportunity for my son to be involved. And so the first person I reached out to talk to was my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And my pitch to him was, I'd like to do this as a family business. I would like to bring everybody in and to pass down, right? This is Lego, but there's a lot more that's going on here, right? And so, we're talking about things like education. We're talking about things like, sharing enjoyments and how do we do things better. All of that, it's around Lego. But just like I learned from and have respected my dad for years, still do. And I wanted to pass, the opportunity to pass those lessons on to my son in an environment that, would be fun for him to learn. And I wanted then it to open up the opportunity to share those kind of concepts and things on in the teaching and the building and things like that to the people that I would meet, the friends that I've already made, right? So yes, we're all about the Lego, but this started really as, kind of a passion, I guess I would say, of mine. It's something that my parents, you can't see my mom sitting over here in the corner either. She's part of the unseen audience, but if we could show the audience everybody that was here, this is my family, right? That is here, and one of my very close friends from my church who has been very, very intimately involved in making this idea tangible, come to fruition, right? And it's because that they're not necessarily involved directly in loving Lego like I am. But they're here to support the concept and the goal behind it of bringing something good and positive from our family to everyone else's family.
Yeah, it's branched out from a family kind of idea and involved the community.
Yeah, right.
And that's what we're trying to give back in a real sense.
And that's a strong factor in this community, as in any community.
Right.
It's family and
It's
togetherness.
family, yeah.
That's what I would say. I love watching, the parents coming through with their children, and they come over to the table, they walk around, but this is something that just parents and their children, as the children get older, right? Lego transcends age.
Sure.
It's something that we did. My dad helped me build my very first police station when I was 5. And from that all the way down, to this, where my son is now, building the minifigures that, if you walk in here, you're going to see a whole bunch of minifigures scattered around.
Mm-hmm.
He started all of that. And we pass that on. So now other families with their kids can have that same kind of transcending legacy.
Yeah.
It's around Lego, and we love Lego, but the family aspect is arguably far more important.
Sure. I agree.
Each family member will find their own niche, if you will. Mine's the 2 airplanes and on that end of it, some like the Star Wars, some like the city, all the different aspects of it. And there is something, it'll grab somebody's attention. One part of it will, or another one. And so the whole family gets involved, whether they don't all have to do Star Wars. One does Star Wars, one does the city, one does Lord of the Rings, one does Harry Potter, one does.
Yeah, just wait till I show the Lego bouquets, because I don't think my mom has seen those yet.
Oh, she'll love them.
They are flowers that won't die.
Ever.
True.
Legos last forever, I think.
I've got a question coming in from the audience, and I want to get to it.
Absolutely.
It might kind of piggyback on what I said about, people can come into the store and enjoy the Legos, take a look around. You don't necessarily have to make a purchase to come into the store and hang out. But Crystal Lee wants to know if you're taking any volunteers. She has a 12-year-old son that might be interested in volunteering. Is that something that you would entertain?
So the short answer is yes. And over the last couple of weeks, we did have some build nights as we were gearing up to this. So we did have some volunteers that came out, and we had tables actually that were set up right where we're sitting, and helped us get to this point. I need to get through grand opening and probably our first week, and put a publisher schedule out. Obviously, we will continue to need building, right? There's going to be way more things that come in. People bringing their collections in, wanting to trade up to something else, and we'll need to kind of go through that and put things back together, put it on the shelf. So absolutely, there will be volunteer opportunities. We'd love to have that help come in. Stay tuned to the Facebook page. That's where it'll be posted.
Yeah,
Good
so
question.
what I did for Miss Lee there was I responded to her question with a link to the Facebook page.
Absolutely.
So before you leave the show or after you leave the show, scroll back into those comments, go over to their Facebook page, and then hit that follow button.
Did your son or anyone else want to come on camera and discuss anything?
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Let me get out of the way.
let me bring the minifigure expert over.
One of the hidden audience members here.
Yes. So watch him fold into the chair. So you might notice there are things that are up high all around here. I'm not tall enough to actually reach them. I have a ladder in the back if I need to get them, but and quite humorously, when we were first putting the shelves up, he put a whole bunch of things up there specifically because I could not reach them, and it would be funny to him that it would take
Playing tricks on dad.
right.
Yeah. How tall? First of all, what's your name?
I'm Kieran.
Kieran. And how tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
Okay, that's pretty tall. I'm 6'1". You got me about 4 inches easily.
I've been told.
Do you get the question, do you play basketball?
More often than you would think.
No, I know because I got that
Yeah.
question growing up because I was tall,
I'm
So-
more of a football guy.
All right, good. Go Eagles. Yeah.
So what?
All right.
I don't have a huge preference, but yeah.
All right.
So Kieran, we heard about your pop there, and he was saying that he's into the airplanes and stuff. Do you have a niche or a specialty that you're into? Your dad said earlier that you were the figures guy.
Is he come in clear now?
Yeah, he's coming in. You just want to move the microphone a little bit closer to your mouth. And then, that's my interrogation for you. Besides the figures, what kind of sets or building do you enjoy doing?
I enjoy making costumes of my own, something that I can say, hey, this looks cool, but not only that, hey, I did this myself. I like the creativity aspect of it, and that's a lot of things that me and him have in common. I just do it more so in figures, but trying to make mocks and making something that you did yourself is what I really enjoy to see. So you have all the things and say, yeah, this is my collection, but this is what I did, and this is what I'm proud of.
What was the slang you threw out there? Mocks?
Mock stands for my own creation.
Ah, I like that.
So that's something that's not necessarily in a kit. It's something that you imagine up and then get a design together for, and then go out and custom put it together,
Yeah.
right?
Do you come up with the design, or just do it on the spot, just trial and error, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. Sometimes you kind of start with an idea, and depending on how deep you want to go into it, you can either say, this works for what I took in half an hour and put together, or you can go searching for a week and say, this is a lot more accurate, and I'm proud of this. As for not that I avoided it, but I just kind of miss it. My niche that I don't like. I would say it's not necessarily like a series. Like one of I'm losing. Sorry.
Theme.
I would say I much prefer the more detailed.
Okay.
characters. So I like Lord of the Rings. I like Hobbit, mostly because I grew up on the movies and the games and such and sets, and I really enjoy those. But I enjoy the ones that have like the print's got a lot more detail
Okay.
than most other stuff. So
Okay.
I have respect for city and the town and such.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So if you haven't been by the store today, we changed up the display area, and there is a gigantic Castle Helm's Deep creation there. And I had originally gotten that for his room, which then took up a huge part in his room. And he complained, "You got to get this out of here." So we've been holding on to it for a little while, a little over a year or so maybe, so that it would eventually make its way and end up something like this. So, yeah, Lord of the Rings has been. He started out with Star Wars, and then it went to kind of Marvel. A lot of Marvel.
I wouldn't say I really enjoyed Marvel. I just kind of started collecting because why not? And I'm actually proud of that. Up until about 2 months ago, they released the second Hall of Armor. I had every single piece of Iron Man.
Oh, nice.
Iron Man suits.
Yeah.
He kind of likes it, sort of, but he's got every single Iron Man. So take that for what it's worth.
That's the reason why we started this, right? Like, we're not sellers. This started because we're collectors, and it just got too
This is
much.
true. This is true. I will say that. I'm a good collector. I'm a bad seller.
Gotcha.
So-
Well, you're going to have
you're
to change that.
You're stepping up right now.
These,
So.
these lights got to stay on,
I know,
brother.
right?
Not necessarily. It never really ends. Like, even
Yeah.
as we're working in the store.
You can collect just as fast as you can sell, right? Is that what you're saying?
When we first started this, you see in the corners a bunch of bins. It's just stacks and stacks, and then some that are laid out. And there's one in the corner that we had when we first started this. And we first opened it, we said, all right, here, put all your figures and stuff in this one in the corner. This will be our collection. This is where if you find a figure and say, here, toss it in here. It's been about 2.5 weeks, and it's been over full.
Yeah.
So somebody's bringing up about the minis. You guys have a pretty large collection of minis. I wish that we could move the camera, but this is a stationary camera. So
Someday,
they'll just have to
though.
describe it. So I'm not all up on my Lego lingo. My Lego lingo. There you go. That's some alliteration for you. So bring us up to speed on the Lego lingo. What is a mini?
So the little people go by a couple of different names. So figure, minifig,
Mm-hmm.
fig, mini. It all refers to the same thing. It's the little Lego guy of whatever theme that he might be.
Put it
All right, there you
Oh,
go.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pop
So-
nicely just brought it over.
Right. So all the little
Look at all the Chewbacca's there.
people, yes. And, what we started off with 30 years ago, was just one guy with kind of a very plain looking smiley face and maybe a hat. And now we have all sorts of special moldings and hair colors and, Chewbacca's. And, so it's the range of all the different options these days is incredible.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a whole
yeah.
nother tray.
There's
now
there's a whole ton
There's a
of
whole,
another
yeah, the
trays.
whole once you come inside the front door, just to your left as you're entering the store, there must be 6 or 7 shelves that are packed to the gills with these minis. So if there's something specific that you're looking for, I don't know a whole lot about these things, but they've got a pretty good variety of what's
So
of
there
stuff.
are separated sections for Star Wars, and this is Chima, for some regular town figures, for Harry Potter, for the collectible minifigure series that they started a couple of years ago. So
I was surprised during I wouldn't really call it a soft opening. It was open for a little bit when Oktoberfest was going on. We had a few kids and a few moms who were coming in, and they were asking for even some of the most obscure series that we have. Some 11, 12-year-old came in and asked for SpongeBob. Mom came in asking for Stranger Things, which I wasn't expecting, but I'm glad to see that they know what they want.
Yeah, for sure. And a good point to bring up is when we were discussing earlier before we're on camera. So this store here has about 15% of your inventory.
yes.
So if you don't see it here, they might have it. You might have it, right?
Absolutely. Feel free to ask if there's
Yeah.
something that you're looking for. We can't fit everything in this space, unfortunately. I wish I could. So if I don't have it, then certainly I've got a network of folks that I know here in the area that I can also put the feelers out to and ask around to see if we can get it. So feel free to ask. That's what we're here for.
Speaking
So yeah, Gypsy Chris is asking, do they have a Chris Stapleton figure? She's a big Chris Stapleton fan, and wants to know. That might be
That's a good
custom.
question.
That might be a custom build,
That would be
right?
a custom.
I have the hat sitting over there. Actually.
Okay.
I can give them the hat easy.
So Gypsy Chris, come on down to 10 South Reading Avenue in Boyertown,
You'll get your
and
Chris
talk to
Stapleton.
Kieran, and Kieran will help you put.
I'm just gonna get started on that as soon as I walk.
There you go. He'll have it ready and waiting for you.
I'll do my best.
All right. So, is there any more questions from the audience?
No, but there's some other people that tuned in, so we might as well
Let's
give
get
them a
some
shout out.
Yeah.
Jenna McMullen Shantz, Funky Frets is waiting for you guys to open up and join the club down here in downtown Boyertown.
It was actually really nice when we first came here. A lot of the local stores were very, 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 very kind to us and welcoming. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think it's a tight knit group here.
Yeah.
John McKillop is talking about HP set and city buildings, which you guys have talked about. You have a bunch of that kind of stuff.
We do have Harry Potter sets, both new in box and some older retired. And what was the other one that he said?
City buildings.
City. Yes, we do have. Oh, he may be talking about modulars, which we probably will have some. I don't have a specific place just yet to put them out, but we will be finding places as I have the stock and get it into the store. I will find a place to put it out on the shelves.
There you go.
A new Harry Potter line just released about a month ago.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that if they don't have it in the store, but it's something that you're looking for, you should contact them. And probably the best way to contact them is come right down and check
That's
the place
best
out.
way. Yeah, right in
Or
person.
send them a message on Facebook, ask what they have, and they'll do their best to get it into the store for you. That's what I'm hearing. They're going to try to do the best they can to get these custom orders done. Just like Gypsy Chris wanted a Chris Stapleton, and
I
she's
love it.
going to
That's
get
cool.
it.
I'm happy. I also enjoy Christmas.
There you go. Gypsy
Okay,
Chris
nice,
has seen
great.
him twice this past summer. Bill Ryan wants a beer and brick night.
Beer and brick. I like that too.
I kind
I'm
of
a
like
fan of
that.
that,
Like
yeah.
earlier in the show,
Mm-hmm.
you did talk about having adult nights and doing some things for advanced builders or us
Yeah.
older folks.
Yeah. So, like I said, every idea I think is a good idea.
Mhm.
So, like that, throw it across on Facebook,
Mhm.
right? So that I've got it and
Mhm.
can refer back to it.
Right.
If we've got a couple of folks who would be interested in it, that's really right. What we're looking for is some synergy around some of these ideas that people would like. There's a couple of folks who say we would really like X, Y, Z. Then we can find the time and put it on the calendar.
Nice. You heard it here first.
All right. So I have some trivia questions for you. I want to see how much you really know about Lego. I'm sure you know a ton. So let me ask you a couple questions. You both can answer. All right. Here we go. First question. What year did the Lego company begin?
You would know that more than
Oh, it was.
It's way older than I thought.
Yeah, no, it's back around the turn of the century because it started actually as a wooden toy company. I don't remember if it was. No, somewhere in the 1920s sticks in mind, but there was a fire, and I may be remembering
There were actually two fires. I remember the story pretty clearly.
Yeah.
What, Kieran? What? I think I'm going to give you a little help. You said there was a decade in the 1900s. What was the decade that you were thinking? There was a date that came into your head.
1930.
I was thinking early 30s.
There you go.
Early 30s. It is 1932.
Awesome.
August
And-
10th.
Good job.
And from what country?
Denmark.
Teamwork.
Who knows what the name Lego comes from?
It comes from the Danish
Somebody
word-
off
Camera's
camera.
I wanna answer that.
Now he's like, man, I should have stayed on
Do you want me
camera.
to let you answer it? Go ahead. All right. It comes from the Danish word like golf. Like I may be mispronouncing that. Anyway, it means play well.
Awesome. You couldn't have answered it better. That sounds great.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay. What Lego set has the most amount of pieces?
So
For purchase.
currently, I think it is still held by the second release of the Millennium Falcon,
Right.
which is somewhere just a couple pieces shy of 8,000. It's like 7,998.
If I checked right, it should be visible from the camera. It's the one in the back.
It's right. So that would be the Millennium Falcon. That's actually right behind us. But I believe I think that's still the largest one by
That
piece
is
count.
number 4.
Number 4.
That is number 4. Yep. So number 1 is the world map at 11,695 pieces.
That's right.
Number 2 is the Titanic with its 9,090 pieces. Number 3 is the Colosseum, which is 9,036 pieces. You're close though.
Millennium Falcon's still top 5,
Yeah,
right?
it's still top 5. Number 4, right?
So maybe he should qualify
all
by
newer,
saying
all newer
all
sets.
newer ones.
There you go.
Maybe he should say
I clocked out once they brought the Falcon out.
it's the most pieces that he has in his store. How about that one? Do you have anything bigger than that in your store right now?
No,
that's
not,
the biggest
not
one.
currently. That's the
most
big
pieces.
kahuna.
There you go. I rescued you a little bit.
I know we're talking about like Lego official stuff, but I do believe that technically the Helm's Deep could possibly be bigger.
Oh well, when you get in the world of mocks.
Yeah, no, Mox are
Oh yeah. No, this is for
Yeah.
sale.
Yeah.
This is for
Yeah.
sale.
Official.
I wasn't going to get that far into it. I can't go that deep. Although I kind of can. And then the final question. Well, how many Lego colors are in production today? And I'll give you the round because I'm not even 100% sure about this answer.
It's crazy.
I want to say 60 to 70. Yeah.
Yeah,
67.
They know
is
their
perfect.
stuff, man.
67 is what I came up with, but that was 2021, so it could be a little bit different.
It's kind
Okay.
of funny. Certain series when they come out, it increases the color palette. For instance, when Lego had all the series, and then Friends came out, that jumped the color palette by like a solid 20 to 30 colors.
We had
Yeah.
we had that friend set. My wife and my son are going to build it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm actually building right now the Seinfeld set.
Oh
which
yeah.
is
Yeah.
actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Okay, what replica? I hope I'm wording this right. What replica holds the Guinness World Records for the largest Lego statue?
I appreciate your questions, but I don't think I know this.
I'm glad you appreciate the questions
What
of these.
replica?
Yeah. So it's a replica of something that we know.
And I wouldn't say I wouldn't call it a statue. It's more like a
But they call it a statue.
they call it a statue,
Is
but
it an official set or is it?
It's not.
It's not. So
It's a mock.
It's a yeah.
He-
that
he
somebody
said
has
he-
put
Throw
together.
it
He
out
said
there, right?
Guinness World Records. That's not
Right.
official.
Right. Well, it's official in a different way. A non-official Lego set.
Just throw anything out there.
I would call it a historical
I was
location.
gonna say probably. So I know that they have done a couple of Statue of Liberties, which are fairly large, but I don't know if those would actually be the largest.
Yeah, I think statue is a bad word.
It's not a statue.
It's not a statue.
It's not a statue.
Aircraft carrier.
Could you
It's a historic location. It's a location, and it's a historic place, and it's in Europe, not on the
I
continent.
was guessing that much actually.
At a
It's a
historic
bridge.
location, well,
What?
it's got it.
Yeah,
London Tower Bridge.
London
it is.
Tower Bridge.
It's got 5,805 pieces. Well, 5,805,846 to be exact, and it's 42 feet tall.
Now, see, that
You'd need like a
requires-
lift
Yeah,
to build.
That takes a
That's
lot
crazy,
of
right?
engineering.
Speaking of like stupidly big Lego things, this was I think it was a few years back. But I don't know if you know it or not. James May, who is one of the guys on
from
Top Gear.
Top Gear
Yeah.
from BBC Top Gear.
Yes.
Yeah.
He made a Lego to scale house. The entire thing had a functioning water system, functioning toilet, functioning all that. But he couldn't get a buyer. Couldn't. But he actually made
How big was? Do you remember?
It was like-
approximately.
I don't remember.
I watched that episode. I
Yeah.
watched it with my kids.
I didn't see it, but I looked back in it a few months ago. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened.
That's
He built it on
crazy.
the average size British home. So
Yeah.
it
so
was.
it's the size of a home.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It was
It's
a fully functional
house.
home made out of entirely Legos, besides like a few necessity things. But yeah,
All right, I'm going to end here with an easy true or false question. Okay,
Okay,
easy.
50-50.
Yep, you
there we go.
one of you can get it right if you answer
Right.
Let's
differently.
just split the difference.
Lego is the world's largest toy company.
Toy company.
Mhm.
The largest? I don't think
No.
they're the largest. Lego is the largest tire manufacturer in the world.
And it's true. Very true.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a crazy
insane.
concept to say,
I
but
didn't know that.
I don't know about the largest toy manufacturer. Just by revenue or
Oh,
by.
now you're asking too many questions.
I don't. Or I was like, what are the qualifiers for largest?
My research said it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that doesn't sort of surprise me. I mean, if you were certainly if you were to go by
And I don't know what those
pieces,
qualifications are.
right? If you go by pieces or how many children served, or I don't know. But hey, yes, Lego's the largest, absolutely.
Yeah, just
And we're
just
trying to
going
help
with it.
make it a little larger.
right.
And because
I think we knew it.
act like you know.
True.
Yeah.
It's our first
Absolutely.
answer, and we're sure of that.
I want to get this out because there's a challenge. There's a gauntlet being thrown down.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Jenna Shantz from Healthy Kids Running Series is throwing out a gauntlet here. Are you ready?
Okay, all right.
Joe better get working on the replica of downtown Boyertown.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same. Good one.
Way to call me out, Jenna. So she actually was in here, and I will say, if you come in right by our door, we've actually have some flyers for some other places around Boyertown. So by all means, if you are not sure of the other places and things here in Boyertown for you and your family, we do hope to be a place that has kind of a little nerve center, and you can see what else is going on. And the Healthy Kids Running Series is certainly a well worth
Absolutely.
endeavor.
And I think
My
they
kids
now
done
have
it
the
last couple of years as well.
They have the gym. Now.
they have the Bears Den
That's-
gym now too,
That's
right?
correct.
That's
Which
a
we will be
CrossFit
interviewing them next month. at
Is
the
that a
gym.
CrossFit gym or
It
something
used to
similar?
be a CrossFit, but
Okay,
what they're doing with it, I'm not sure
All right.
exactly.
we'll find out.
But she had
Next.
stopped in to hand me some flyers so I could put them in here, and that was her. She's like, how soon before you build a replica of the downtown area?
That would be awesome.
would be amazing. So we are working actually in the middle of putting a kind of city scene. It's not a replica of Boyertown yet.
We talked about it a little bit. We need to get the train up before Christmas. Have that.
Give me 6 months to the
Right.
train that I would
Culverdale
like that
Railroad.
really comes the closest to modeling the Culverdale Railroad is a little older, and I've got to track it down. So I have a couple of trainhead friends who keep these things squirreled away, locked tight in their basements, and I've just got to pry one out of their fingers. We'll see how that goes.
All right.
Give me 6 months.
That sounds great.
We have an international guest, an international watcher.
This is nuts.
Yeah, Hugh Toll is
Okay.
tuning in from Belfast, Ireland.
Wow.
Thanks for watching.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome to America.
If
Right.
chance you can come down.
Slancha's right. Get my Guinness out.
Right, bring gifts.
Bring some Irish Legos.
Okay, so we're getting down to the end of the show here.
We are.
I'm going to throw out a couple of things happening in and around town. I have a event guide, a blog that I put out each week, a weekly event guide. You can find it at Jeff Knows Boyertown. Jeff.
Awesome.
And it is called What's Going Down in Boyertown. I don't know if you've heard of it yet or not.
I have not, but I
Okay.
would love to link to it.
All right. Just go to jeffknowsboyertown.com and there it will be. Weekly, I put it out, and I put out all the events that are happening in and around town. It's
Okay.
not just in Boyertown, but the whole area where
Yeah.
people can go outside of town or people from
Right.
outside can come in. Yeah. So I'm just going to do a spattering of some things that are happening in town this week, but there is well over 100 events happening each week. So this Thursday, the Boyertown Evening Market. It's a farmer's market right down the road from here. It's located in Boyertown Museum of Historic Vehicles parking lot, and that runs from 4 to 8 on Thursday. There's also a band playing there, Keystone Ramblers. They'll be live from 5 to 7 on Thursday. Our friend Kim and Paul, which we had Kim on our 50th episode 2 episodes ago. They're playing their last show for the summer, I guess you would call it, at Union Jack's Inn at the Manatawny in Boyertown.
Okay.
If you know there, if you stopped there yet.
I don't think I have been there before.
Okay, good, cool place to go.
Awesome.
They'll be playing there at 6 p.m. on Thursday as well. Friday, we have it's our last day of the fall frolic hunt that Glocker Real Estate is doing.
Okay.
I'm
I'm frantically putting links up
I
to
know
these
you are.
places that you're talking about.
just trying to
so
keep you involved
so
here.
that- I'm involved, brother.
So we're doing a scavenger hunt for the last 2 weeks. 2 or
Yes,
3 weeks.
yes.
Where you get a paper with I think there was 8 or 9 or 10.
I think there's 8 locations.
8 locations.
You have to visit 6.
in Boyertown.
Correct.
Okay.
Each location has a stamp. They're going to stamp your playing card, and then you're going to bring your completed playing card back to Glocker Real Estate,
Right.
and you're going to pick which prize you would like to win. So your
then put it in that
stamped
bag.
card becomes your entry to win one of these gift baskets or gift boxes that was donated by a local business or artisan.
How do we get in on this?
You just
Next
stop at
year,
any
next
part.
year.
Next year.
Oh, is
All
it
right.
over? It's over now?
Yeah, because you weren't open.
Yeah, we're
yet,
all right.
so,
Yeah, absolutely.
It will be the last day to do that will be this Friday. We're open till 5 p.m. to get your entry form in. So you could come in the morning to any of these businesses that are part of this, and you could get your playing card and get it 5 places. Go to 5 places, get them stamped, and shoot over to Glocker before 5 o'clock on Friday, and still possibly win something good. Also on Friday, the September Wine Walk is happening right here downtown Boyertown. They're calling it a Western Wine Walk. I think there's going to be some giddy up and some line dancing, I think, going on, and some
That
wine
makes
drinking,
sense.
of course.
Right.
Where you're going to be traveling to 10 different businesses and drinking wine at each business.
Right.
It's the way to get to know the businesses in Boyertown and enjoy some wine too,
Absolutely.
and some country line dancing.
You know what I did to find the link to that?
What
I
did you
just went into my Google browser and I typed in wine walk,
do?
and it was like the 3rd or 4th thing that
Cool.
popped up.
Yeah, they do it monthly, and I think they do it all year long. I don't think they stop it in the wintertime. I think it's every month. So if you don't make this one, look for it next month. Saturday, we can start right here at the
Absolutely.
Lego store at Boyertown Brickworks, and at 9:45 a.m. you're going to be doing the ribbon cutting and
Doors
letting
open at
everybody in.
10 a.m. So come on down, play in the bulk.
Yeah.
If you get really adventurous, you can Scrooge McDuck. Just jump right in.
I wouldn't be telling people that. There might be kids jumping in.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I should probably be more careful about that. But it would be fun.
It would be funny though.
We even have a ribbon yet.
Don't bring that up.
Yeah, Build a Better Boyertown has the ribbon and the big pair of scissors. They'll
Yep.
supply all of your
Yeah,
needs.
In order to do something like that, we have to have like the comically large golden scissors.
They have
Right.
them.
They will.
Okay. So yeah, this Saturday, come down here to the Lego store, Boyertown Brickworks. Also, the Colebrookdale Railroad all weekend long. They're doing their fall foliage, autumn splendor fall foliage train rides, which are beautiful. Leaves change. I mean, it's a great train ride anyway, but then you see all the leaves change, and it's all pretty outside. And then Sunday we're again talking about Kim that we interviewed 2 weeks ago. She's doing some singing up in the orchard, in Fraycon Orchard. So they're calling it apple picking, guitar picking, and singing in the orchard.
There you go.
Yep, up in Fraycon's Orchard. That's going from 12 to 3. That's her Irish band, Killing Clark. Correct. Good memory. Yeah.
We're gonna be looking that up there.
Yep. So check them out. It's a lot of fun up in the orchard. You can pick some apples, and they have food there. They have cider, hard cider there. There's hay bales for kids to play on. It's a good time up there. My kids love going to it. I love going to it. My wife loves going to it.
I like shopping at Fraycon.
Yeah.
They've
Oh yeah, they got
great food.
great stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Great produce.
So and then I just want to mention next week we are having we're going to be at Durango's. We're going to be live at Durango's.
Okay.
They were just purchased by the people of the other farm,
Yes, that's correct.
and which is also connected to Fraycon. Hank Fraycon is who we're going to be speaking with. So make sure to watch live at 6:00 next Wednesday, and we're going to learn about what they're doing with Durango's, and we'll learn about Pick Fest that's coming up next weekend. We're going to learn about the other farm and Fraycon's. We're going to learn about so much. How are we going to do it in an hour, Matt?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Listen, I tried to get as many of those links into the chat as I possibly could, so you'll see them come up. Those links live in the chat. So after the episode is over, go back into the chat. All the links to Boyertown Brickworks will be there. The links to as many of these places that I could get.
Okay.
Most of them you're going to see are World Wide Web links. Facebook was not cooperating with me today. I try to get Facebook.
Facebook is grumpy. sometimes.
Facebook's been super grumpy lately, especially on the business pages. So I try to get as many of those links up there. But if you go back into the show and just listen to what Jeff said, you can get all the information. Or more preferably, better yet, go to his his webpage, jeffknowsboyertown.com. The address is up on your screen right
And
now.
subscribe to the free event guide.
And speaking of subscribing,
Yes.
people should subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Glocker Realty and Insurance. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you want to go back and look at a past episode, YouTube is the much better platform to watch a past episode.
Absolutely.
If you
They're
want to
all
see
together in one spot.
all together in one spot, very easily searchable. If you want to see Kimmy from Vuja Day, you can go right there and look at that.
If you want to hear Kimmy from
Vuja Day, you can
sent
go right
3
there and
songs.
look
It was
at that.
beautiful.
It was awesome. If
Yeah.
you want to see Healthy Kids Running Series interview, you can go back and find that. So I highly encourage people to go and subscribe at Glocker Realty and Insurance if you want to see past episodes of the Cast at Glocker. And then while you're there, look at some of the videos that we're making of the real estate that we sell, because at the end of the day, that's our real job, right?
Yeah, we're both real estate agents.
We're both real estate agents, and I would say Glocker Realty is putting out some of the best listing packages and the best videos in this area.
Absolutely.
So go check
Yeah,
out
for
what
sure.
we can do to help you sell your residential and commercial real estate.
And while you're at it, put out your website or how they can find you.
Find me?
Yeah.
They can find me by just searching Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate, and all my stuff will come up. It'll come up on Facebook. It'll come up on the World Wide Web. They can also search for me at Porchcast Pottstown.
Nice.
That is my other live stream podcast. We're on the air most Thursdays, so we'll be on tomorrow
Who do you got tomorrow?
at 6 o'clock.
Are you bringing on anyone?
Yeah, we have Joe Rusevich from the Pottstown Foundation for Education.
Okay.
It's a nonprofit organization that works to enrich the education opportunities of Pottstown school students.
And that's Thursday at
Tomorrow
6.
at 6, we will be live at Pottstown United Brewing Company. You
Excellent.
can watch us on Facebook or YouTube, or come down to Pub and watch us live.
Wow.
Yeah,
Audience.
audience.
All right. And you can find me, on Facebook at Jeff Frederick at Glocker Real Estate. You can also find me on all social sites just by Googling Jeff at Glocker. It's that easy. And if you have any real estate needs, give me a shout out.
There you go.
How about you guys? What would is there any last shout outs you would like to put out to the public?
I guess I would say, thanks you to my family and stuff for being here tonight.
Do you guys want to come on real quick?
Yeah, if you
Run
wanna-
back
if you
here?
wanna
You can
walk
line up in the
Yes.
back and you'll
Yes.
all be
table
on.
real quick. But we are super excited for this Saturday and to meet all of you. There's been a few who have come by already, and we have enjoyed it. And we are looking forward to seeing those of you again and meeting all of the new faces and people from our community. It will be a fun day. Come on down on Saturday.
Lots of fun. All right, everybody. Should we say goodbye?
Yeah, we're gonna say goodbye, and
All right.
I'll try to give them the smoothest outro I possibly can. These are the folks from Boyertown Brickworks. You can find them at 10 South Reading Avenue in the lovely borough of Boyertown. Their zip code is 19512. You can find them on Facebook or the World Wide Web by searching Boyertown Brickworks. Joe Nicely is the owner. We have a video that we are going to play as the outro for this show. So if you stay tuned, the outro is going to carry us out, and we're going to show you some views of some of the things that you will find down here at Boyertown Brickworks. Thanks for tuning in
See you next week.
to the Cast at Glocker. And there we go. Don't forget, folks, we really do need you to subscribe on YouTube. Share the show out to your friends and help us spread the word about what's going down in Boyertown. Thanks for tuning in.